You survived the workday. Now survive the truth.
Don't you want to have the best 12 teams in college football playing each other?
It's time for the hardest hitting 2 hours on the Panhandle.
I love it. You're coming through. You got it, baby.
Now into the huddle with Paul Wilson on the Sports Blitz.
It is a joyous day.
I love your show.
From the Emerald Coast to the edge of the atmosphere.
You gentlemen lift us up every day.
104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
What it do, people? It's the homie Lil Cash. Right now you tuned in with Paul Wilson on the Sports Blitz. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. The hottest sports show in the South. Let's go. Cause Lil Cash with another hit with Paul Wilson on the Sports Blitz. Where they talk trash and they talk ish. When it comes to sports, man, they too legit. It's 104.3 ESPN. If you love sports, better chime in. NFL, college, local sports, they got it. NBA, they got it. Sports Blitz, the topic. The show hottest what's happening. Better tune in and go watch it. Hey, Sports Blitz with Paul Wilson. If you even tried, you can't stop it. Bone Crusher gon' pop it. No Jeff gon' pop it. Go like, comment, subscribe, and share right now.
It is Thursday, and we are live and local right here at 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida, your spot for the Atlanta Braves. Don't forget, tonight the Braves take on the Miami Marlins again. Hopefully we can get them again. This is it tonight. So either way, we're pumped up about it. Don't forget, the show starts or stops, and as soon as we stop, now the Braves starting at 6 o'clock. 6:15 is the first pitch. And don't forget, if you want to be a part of this show, you can be 850-215-6290. We are your spot for the Atlanta Braves. Don't forget, the Braves are sponsored by Hewitt Tire and Auto, Brock Pest Control, Bill Bird Kia, PCB Hobby, Cito, and Blue Diamond Truck Accessories right here in beautiful Panama City and Panama City Beach. Man, I'm so excited about today. It's a great day. It's beautiful. It's starting to get hot outside. It's starting to get really hot outside. And that's the whole reason why I'm here, is because I wanted to be in this hot weather. Moved down here from Kentucky, and that's why I'm here, is because of this weather. So if you are wanting your air conditioned, that's fine. Go get inside. If you want your air conditioned, get in your vehicle. That's fine. But let's keep it warm like it is right now, because, man, I'm glad and I'm ready for it. As always on a Thursday, got Jeffrey in the building. Jeffrey, how are you doing today?
I'm doing pretty good. Better than more other people. Let's just put it like that.
Yeah. Are you happy with the way the heat is? Do you like the heat? I mean, obviously you work outside some. You like it?
I like it. Yes, I like it. For the most part.
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah, most certainly, but there's, sometimes, you're sweating, you don't really smell good, and everything. If you're working outside, like I do.
Well, there's a way you can shower at night. And
shower at night, shower in the morning, it doesn't matter. Put deodorant on, it doesn't matter. You're out there in the heat.
Are you using aluminum free or something where it's just so you don't wear deodorant, you wear antiperspirant, all right? What happens is that the antiperspirant and the deodorant works together. You can't just do one or the other. It's like, you got to do both.
But then you're out there and you're over a hot metal wing of a plane putting fuel in it.
Yeah.
Do you think that might have something to do with the reflection of the heat and everything off the metal, maybe, or me maybe like jogging sometimes, and trying to pick up my pace and all that outside? And it could have been the ash that was falling from the sky today because they had a control burn here in Bay County.
Yeah,
and it was like, wait a minute, is that really? And then you're like, it was ash.
Yeah. And
we had just washed cars. Those were pleasant,
Oh yeah.
And the other thing that was crazy that happened at the airport. You want to hear it?
Yeah, I want to. Go ahead. I'll get you going. Yeah.
Somebody drove their car into a hangar. And I don't mean like when the doors open. I mean the wall of the hangar. Accident. I hope it wasn't on purpose.
I mean, just to drive it in for no
drive
reason.
it in.
I just don't understand.
Boom.
I just don't get it.
Yeah, well, it happens, I guess.
Yeah, but let's get back to this deodorant antiperspirant thing. I know it's hot, but you just... and let's ask. All right, let's ask.
You don't sweat?
I do.
I mean, I have great body temperature control. I really do. No. Do you know how people they barely do anything and they just start sweating and they're like their forehead sweating and everything's like you need to get control of that. You need to get in shape. You need to get your beach bottle on something.
They're thinking really hard. That's what it is. It's hard. There's a lot of things going on in the air,
No. I have really great temperature control of my body, but other people do not. And it doesn't matter how much. If it's 110 degrees outside, it doesn't matter. You're going to sweat.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. But I've just never heard anybody say that you can control your own temperature of your body.
You can.
Do you like look at it and say, stay in control?
No. You actually have to be exposed to it. So think about this. Like Eskimos, their body, they have a certain amount of body fat, muscle, like percentages to where they can control their body when it's cold, right?
Yeah.
Well, we get acclimated to the heat. And we have a better chance to do stuff like that. And then also the circulation, like your veins and everything, your blood and everything, it circulates and it keeps your body more moderate at temperatures.
Yeah.
You know?
So like when you wear deodorant though, or
always, every day.
Okay, good. So do you go really high up by your bicep, or you just stay right here in the? Well, that might be the deal.
No. I don't have like the biceps and the triceps don't sweat.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, like, you don't have to go. You need to go a little bit higher. Just go a little bit higher and a little bit lower.
No.
Make the spread go from top to bottom rather than just sticking it in the middle there. And don't, maybe you should change the deodorant or whatever it is.
And it's another thing, long hair. People who have long hair and all that, I don't know. Yeah, it's got to be there. I don't want to say they're sweatier, but it's harder to like because it keeps all the heat in and everything.
Yeah,
it's not as easy. Anyway, how about Bone Crusher?
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, we've struck out with Jeffrey. Bone Crusher, do you control your body temperature?
That's not a thing. That's not possible. You get acclimated to the summer a little bit better, but I mean, when you first get down here, you feel like you need to shower 3 times a day.
Yeah.
But I'll give you one little hack. If you're about to go into a meeting or something, you've been sweating. The pits are a little stinky, right?
Why are the pits stink? I don't get it. You got
all
some
the
stinky
sweat
pits.
and the
Where do you sweat
bacteria.
from?
So even if you don't, if you sweat, people are going to smell it. Even if it doesn't bother you, other people will smell that body odor. But we learned this during COVID. If you take some of the hand sanitizer, this is kind of gross, but you apply that generously to the underarm area. So all that odor.
So now your hands stink.
Not everybody can be inside.
So you
in
go
a
in and
nice
shake
air conditioning at work every day.
So you go in and shake somebody's hand after you done had your hand sanitized all up in your.
You just get more hand sanitizer.
Yeah.
My goodness.
Man, I'll tell you what. I'm not listening to you guys when it comes to
the rails.
I am not listening to you guys when it comes to hygiene. I'm telling you, I'm out.
Oh my God! Wait, were you ever in middle school and there's that kid that like just poured cologne all over himself?
Yeah, I mean, there's people that do that now.
Yeah, but no, in middle school it was extra.
Yeah, well, I mean,
that's puberty.
That's what I always say is like, every time I go into a store or somewhere and somebody's like bathed in their Axe body wash or Axe body spray.
No, this is straight up cologne.
I'm like, we're in middle school still. Yeah, that's
there was one kid, he was a grade ahead of me, and he did that. And I always thought, well, I thought he wasn't a very nice person. And then when I first met him and started talking to him, I was like, wow, this guy's like really nice, like overly nice, And I was like, I guess I put a stereotype on him just because he just bathed in cologne.
Did he ask you, do you like my cologne? Gross.
Here's my number.
Oh, my
God.
I hate you went that way with it. But, yeah, I mean, nobody knew they were going to get tips on how to stay smelly or not smell and smell. So.
I have a natural musk. It's very delightful.
But
let me tell you who was smelly last night.
Well, we do have a call. We're going to go ahead and go to it.
Hopefully not the caller.
Yeah, no.
Smelly.
We're going to go ahead and go to the phone line. We got Ed on the line. Ed from San Antonio. How you doing today, Ed?
I'm doing all right. How y'all doing, man?
Doing fantastic.
Man, I'm thinking Notre Dame has predicted the issue of Cuba and the Spurs losing and everything. Just seems like everything's going weird all of a sudden, man. Everything's going up and down.
Yeah, that's part of it. I figured that they were going to get on the right track as far as OKC. I figured they would allow some things that they did, and you saw it. They allowed some of the things. They allowed them to hold Wembanyama a little bit more in this game. They won't get away with that in San Antonio for sure. They'll call more fouls against him, but realistically, they were laying all over him. They were holding him. They were grabbing him. And they were getting him tangled up. Every chance that they got to bump him, they were bumping him. They were pushing him. They were holding. So, yeah, it's part of it, but I believe that, when they get back to San Antonio, they won't allow that stuff. And you'll see that OKC's physicality, when it's allowed, they're more equal. But when it's not allowed, you'll see the difference come in San Antonio.
Absolutely.
You sound so down, man. It's one game. It's a 7-game series. Don't get upset that they rigged it against Wemby, because it was tackle football out there, and they didn't call anything, and it was horrible, and justice will prevail in this series, and Wemby will win.
You know what, though? I am enjoying this. This is the match for me. It's like the heavyweight fight. It wasn't going to go down in the first round. It wasn't going to go down in the second round. And we've got a few more to go, which is going to be, hopefully, the pattern flows. It's going to be entertaining. It'll be the entertaining of the two series between the Spurs and the Thunder and the Knicks and the Cavaliers. Mm-hmm. But the Cavaliers and Knicks played a good one, too. They also went to overtime as well.
Yeah, but do you really believe that the Cavs can get much better where they can beat the Knicks?
No.
Thank you.
So yeah, that was like my own 2 cents. I just wanted to call in and say, hey guys, I'm gonna listen to the show. Y'all keep going, doing y'all thing, and we'll holler at you. All right, guys.
All right, buddy. Thank you so much. He does make a good point though. That realistically, that gave hope that there could be a sweep. I mean, obviously, OKC is not going to go away. No. They're returning champions. They know how to win. They know how to play. They play good together. But I will say this series, now obviously, yes, they've lost a game in this series, which is what they haven't done the previous series that they have been in. But when you look at it, they look a little different. They don't look as confident. They don't look as, easygoing. There's more tension in the air. When you're playing somebody and they know they're going to beat you, there's this silent confidence that sometimes eludes from the way they act and the way they talk and the way. But last night you could see the worry. I felt like it was a worry on even Shea's face. I mean, there were times where they were kind of hollering at each other, and I know Shea talked about it at the end of the game, and he was like, he just had to calm people down because they were screaming at him while he was shooting, like they were open or whatever. And he was like, I'm not mad at him, but I'm like, hey, I'm about to shoot. Calm down. And he even said that on the floor during the game. Calm down. Now, you're talking about championship basketball that they went all the way through, won the NBA championship, and they shouldn't be having this little bit of like worry. It just seems like they're worried. And I think they are.
Okay, I just think they're competitive. And I think they just want it. And they don't want it any more than anybody else. But there's definitely the effort there. And they all want it. I mean, and I'm not saying they want it any more than the Spurs do, because the Spurs want it, but they just couldn't get any of the momentum going on. And I think that they have a good positive energy on their team. It's just that sometimes when you're doing anything you can to try and win, sometimes you might just not jive with your teammate. And Alex Caruso, he seemed like he was a positive energy last night.
Yeah.
And it was a couple of great shots and all that he had, but he just seemed like, he's just trying to get, clap it up. Let's get into it, guys. This is the momentum we need. We just need to roll with this. And they got tripped up a lot. Spurs are good.
Yeah, they're good. But so is OKC. When you look at how they played them different, though, they let Hairston lay on him all night long. I mean, that's all he was doing. He was just laying on him. And I mean, realistic. And he scored 10 points himself. But again, if you look at the way I said was going to be the way that they would win, it almost went straight to the key. I said, SGA's got to have 30 points or above. Mm-hmm. He had 30. And I said he needed about 3 or 4 people to be in double figures. He had 4. 13, 10, 10, and 12. Wallace, Mitchell, and Holmgren actually played good, and then Hairston. Holmgren was the other one. Obviously, if you look at it, though, they're not a three-point shooting team. They shoot the three, but they're not great at it. Because they were 13 of 36 from three, and it just wasn't very good for them. So
35 is good enough to win. 35%.
Yeah, and they did, but I think really when you look at how the things that they did and how the things that what they did well, they had 14 steals last night. That was a big deal.
Oh yeah.
But you made mention to it, and it can't be not discussed. We've talked about how physical college is. We talked about how physical the NBA. Last night was overboard, too much.
Yeah.
It was too physical. I get it, man. But they were laying on him. They were grabbing him. They were holding him. There were times that he would go up for a rebound, and they were holding, and he would go up and clear the ball, and they were on his elbows, and they didn't call anything.
Yeah.
And there were at least 5 specific times that I was like sitting there when I was watching it and preparing for today. I was just like, that's another one. And I was just like, I can't believe that they're not calling that. That's a foul. And they wait for you. If you saw last night, there was a lot of calls that after they fell. And it was like no whistle was blown while they were falling. Then when they hit the ground, they blew the whistle. And you didn't know if they were going to call traveling because they had hit the ground or if they were going to call foul. They finally lifted up their hand and they pointed to the other side. And that was what I was just like.
And another time they fell down on the ground and they called jump ball. There was no foul. And I was like, what in the world's going on here?
Yeah.
There's a foul there.
Yeah. It just to me, and I get it. I said it yesterday. It's in this style of NBA, you can call a foul every time down the floor. You got so much physical. You got so much touching, so much hand checking, moving
screens. Yeah.
I mean, it's just all of that built into one big deal, and it's like pick your poison, pick which one you're going to call.
Yeah.
Even on the blocks. Last night that was just silly. Holmgren goes up to dunk it, and Wemby comes behind him and swipes it, and they blow the whistle. And it's like, wait a minute. That was all ball. There was no way. Then they went and checked it, and sure enough, it was all ball. They said no foul, San Antonio ball. But it's like, why would you call that down here, and then he gets mauled on the rebound, and you didn't call anything? You just let it go. Like, if you're going to swallow your whistle on one end, you got to swallow it on the other end. You can't do it both ways. You got to be, because I believe that they did. I believe that this was, you said cheating. You said, did it
tackle football?
I mean, they really did allow OKC to be too aggressive. They allowed them to be, and that, I mean,
it was overboard.
I just don't understand.
It was too much. It was overboard.
I'm so real. I can't believe how many times, but you know how they do it though. They equaled the fouls, and what they'll do is
last night they didn't.
It was
no. Oh, you mean like the number?
Yeah, the number.
Yeah, but they were atrociously having more fouls from one team.
Yeah, and if you look at it, it's like, wait a minute, they did not do 21 fouls and 21 fouls. You know what I mean? Like, you go down the floor. I mean, how many shots did they take?
They get them a get out of jail free card, and they used it too often in that game.
Yeah, it was. The OKC was 45 of 94 from the field, and San Antonio was 41 of 84. So even if you just had 84 times down the floor each time, they only called 42 fouls total for the whole game.
Wow.
And that's just picking and choosing. But they made the number to be the same, because what they do is they'll call it at the end.
Oh, it's not your turn. We'll go to this team.
Yeah.
And then we'll go back and forth and back and forth. And let these others slide.
And again, I don't have a dog in this hunt. I'm not biased for one or the other.
Yeah.
But it was egregious last night what the referees were doing.
For justice' sake, though, I'm for the Spurs in this one, because I want justice to be handed out, because I think that they're the better team and they deserve to win.
Yeah. Even after just 2 games.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I was leaning a little bit to the Spurs, but now it's like it's just overboard. I'm like, I don't want somebody to just win because the referees or the league wants them to win. And you can call me a conspiracy theorist on this one, but the proof is all last night on film.
Well, you know what? I mentioned it to you. You did kind of throw me off. You said, oh, no. Remember I said at the beginning of the series, I said, is the NBA going to call if the Spurs get up?
Well, I didn't think it would be this obvious.
Everybody was talking about it early. JJ Redick said it happened in their series.
Yeah, but it was 4-0. It wasn't even close.
Right, I know, but I'm just saying they talked about it, and everybody says that the statue that SGA is going to get one day in OKC is going to be him standing at the free throw line. That's going to be his statue. So I mean, when you think about it that way, that's how the NBA is looked at upon the people, especially the other, the fans of the other teams, obviously. But I mean, I don't know if I've ever seen it be that way. Now, there's been times where people that I've listened to, like Isaiah Thomas back in the day, like, oh, they changed the rules for Jordan. Oh, they did this for Jordan. Magic said, oh, in their picture, don't get too close to Michael. They'll call a foul on you. That whole thing. Yeah. But I don't know if we've ever seen it this bad before because it seemed like they got a call from the head office and said, hey, this game needs to be closer. Yeah. And you could tell. You could just tell.
How could it get any closer? We went to double overtime, for God's sake.
Yeah. I don't know.
So, they need to hang up that phone, disconnect. Somebody cut the cord.
That's right.
The NBA bigwigs need to get off the court.
Yeah.
Get out of the arena, period. We might as well. You know what's the most, how do you say it, justice-worthy sport right now?
What?
Baseball, because they got ABS.
And you didn't love it at first. You didn't love it at first, but now you're kind of.
I was okay with it. I just want to see how it all went down and everything, and how it happens with challenges and everything. And it's the most fair sport right now, more than soccer, more than hockey, more than football, more than all of them.
Yeah. Well, they do have reviews, but they usually just do the reviews for if it's a flagrant 1, flagrant 2, or whatever.
But when they have no calls. What you got in basketball?
Right.
Nothing.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, that's so true. I mean, that's real. That's real. All right, we're going to go ahead and take our next break. When we come back, we're going to have Alan Watson join us. We're going to talk about the golf game, but also probably a little bit more. You're listening to the Sports Blitz with Paul Wilson right here, 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
While other radio stations are playing national contests with winners in Timbuktu, 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida has real local winners.
Hi, this is Dave Neat from Panama City Beach.
Bona fide and certified local.
Man, that's fantastic. Oh, my goodness.
Keep listening to Win on the Gulf Coast.
Hell yeah. Let's do it. I just won $250 from 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Good afternoon. This is Anna on ESPN Northwest Florida with Thursday's weather forecast. Partly sunny the remainder of the day with temps near 84 and a wind 10 to 15 miles per hour. Some clouds tonight and a temperature of 75. The same tomorrow around 84 with some clouds throughout the day with a chance of thunderstorms in the afternoon and evening. A likelihood of thunderstorms Saturday and quite warm around 82. This forecast is brought to you by Earthworks of Northwest Florida. Thank you for keeping that dial at ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
Your biggest investment is your home. Protect it while also improving its appearance with Earthworks of Northwest Florida. We have sand, mulch, gravel, or lay-down decorative stone, all available for pickup and delivery. Discover your dream landscape with Earthworks of Northwest Florida. Imagine the moment you proudly pull up to your home that you've worked so hard for, enhanced by quality mulch, decorative stones, and more. Let's make it happen today. Request a quote online at earthworkspc.com or swing by the office at 2005 Industrial Drive. Love the land you live on.
Get ready to discover new adventures this summer and show off your style in a brand new Kia from Bill Bird Kia. Check out the 2026 Kia K5. Its sophisticated design, smart safety features, and impressive fuel efficiency is perfect for your drive every day. Now offering 1.9% APR for up to 48 months on the purchase of a new 2026 Kia K5 during the Kia Summer Sticker Sales event. Stop by for a test drive and discover the new Kia at Bill Bird Kia. Bill Bird Kia, proud to be the home of that 20-year, 200,000-mile warranty. Stop by and see us at 2435 East 15th Street or anytime at BillBirdKiaPanamaCity.com. Movement that inspires.
Offer from Kia Finance America for well-qualified buyers on the purchase of a new 2026 Kia Sorento or Sportage with 2083 per 1,000 financed in 48 months. Cannot be combined with other offers. Quality is limited. See dealer for complete details. A 20-year, 200,000-mile warranty is a Bill Bird Kia warranty. Must take delivery from dealer stock through 6/126.
For everything in the world of golf, it's the Watson Report. Thursdays at 4:20 with Alan Watson from Golf Plus. ESPN Northwest Florida.
We are live and local right here at 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. This is the Sports Blitz with Paul Wilson, and you're locked in. Don't forget today, right after the show, we've got the Braves on. They're going to be playing the Marlins. 6 o'clock coverage, 6:15 is the first pitch. If you want to be a part of this show, you can be. 850-215-6290 is the way you do that. You can also text in on that line. You can also write in on Facebook. We'll read those as well and comment back and forth. Either way, we're so glad to have Alan Watson on the phone line from Golf Plus. Alan, how are you today, my friend?
Man, I am exhausted. We have been run over today, so I'm very appreciative, but I'm also tired at this point in the day. So this is my first chance to sit down. Thank goodness I got to call you.
Well, why is it so busy? What's going on?
I don't know if it's Memorial Day weekend. I don't know if it's just we just had some good timing or what, but we're just having a rush today. Lots of repairs, lots of sales, and I'm an old man, so like I can only I'm like 2 years younger than Coach Manley, so like I'm getting up there, and it just wears me out.
Oh my gosh! Let me ask you this: you've been down here for a pretty good while. Is there a way to fight body odor? Because Jeff and Bone Crusher seem to have a problem.
Kidding me?
Oh my God! Wow, TMI maybe? I don't know. Yeah, it's so hot. I always tell people when they come from up north, I always tell people it's so hot that by the time you get out of the shower and put your deodorant on, before you can even break the door to go outside, you're already sweating, and you already need to go back up and shower again and reapply. So it's just tough, man. It is hot right now. You're absolutely right. And for bald-headed men like me, if I don't wear a hat outside, I know it immediately how hot it is because my head starts scorching, So.
Well,
man, I don't know about the body odor thing. Though.
We talked about it, and Jeff said that, he said deodorant. You said deodorant. Well, you guys need to do antiperspirant and deodorant because
it's all rolled in one. It's all one.
Yeah, I think it's all in one.
I don't know. You better read the fine print, guys. I think that might be the problem. We're gonna have all of you guys in the Dollar General or at Publix looking at bottles of deodorant, wondering if this is correct or not.
Paul's one of those ones that doesn't. He barely gets off the golf cart. He just steps out just to hit the ball in and gets right back on the cart and then rolls away.
Sure.
Don't hate me for hitting the ball straight.
Wow.
Yeah, that's right. So either way, give us some golf news. What's been going on with the world of golf? I know that I saw where DeChambeau changed his clubs. Does that usually happen? If you're struggling, will they change in the middle of the season like that, or is it kind of like they'll stay with the same brand and maybe just grab a different style? I don't know. Tell us a little bit about that. How does that work?
Yeah. So. That is definitely something like Ricky Fowler has been experimenting with different length drivers recently and also different heads. Bryson's made a couple of little minor changes. A lot of times these guys, they might just be looking for something. Justin Rose keeps changing clubs. I mean, it's sometimes it's looking for things. Sometimes it's they're playing bad. And that's why sometimes you see guys, fire their caddy or get a new coach or whatever. But the clubs is a little bit easier to tinker with because they know that if they change it in one round, they can always go back the very next round. So it's not like you fire your caddy, it's probably hard to get him to show up next week.
Yeah.
But if you change one golf club on Thursday, you could always put the other one back in the bag on Friday. So that's just something that sometimes they need to make changes to just sort of make themselves feel better. But the biggest news in golf right now is that we had the PGA Championship over the past weekend, which was one of the four majors, and Aaron Rai won. And he's kind of a unique guy because he wears two gloves, He must sweat a lot is the only thing I can think is why he wears 2 gloves. So he wears a glove on each hand. And then also, he's the only guy on the PGA Tour who uses iron covers. And iron covers is kind of this big controversy because people always say, no legitimate golfer would use iron covers to cover up his irons. But the thing is, the way Aaron grew up, he didn't have a lot of money, and so when he got his first set of clubs, he was so proud of them, he wanted to protect the investment, and so he put covers on them, and he's just continued that to this day, even though he's got plenty of money, and it doesn't matter if they get dinged up or whatever, he can get a new set. But, there's sort of hope for some of the average golfers out there who want to protect their investment because golf clubs are expensive and they cover up their irons with these little slip-on covers. And some people think it's kind of silly or goofy, but, here's a guy that just won a major tournament. He'll go down in history as a major winner, and he had iron covers in his bag. So I think that's kind of the biggest news in golf right now.
That is crazy. I didn't even knew there was such.
Well, is there a potential like scratch them or something like that? Put a cover on?
Yeah. So we call it bag chatter. So when your clubs, when you're riding in the cart or when you're carrying your bag or when they're in the trunk of your car, they're going to move around, right? They're going to shift. And those sometimes, especially irons, can be made out of really soft metal. So when they clang into each other, sometimes it'll nick them up and scratch them up. We call that bag chatter. And some people just kind of take that as an occupational hazard of owning golf clubs. But other people, they don't want their clubs. They want them to look basically perfect from the day they got them, other than a few hit marks, obviously. Nothing you can do about that, but they just don't want any undue damage to come. And so woods and putters always come with covers nowadays, but irons and wedges do not. And so, like I said, kind of a big, I don't want to say controversy, but it was definitely big news for people who've hated on those people who use iron covers, and then here comes a guy and wins a major championship with not that the covers had any effect on his play, but whatever. It was funny.
So let me ask you this: as far as when we're talking about the pros, you made me have a little curiosity. Do they usually change clubs at the beginning of the year, or do they have their clubs like consistent years? Like, will these guys? Scotty Scheffler, when he won last year, his last tournament, did he start this year with the same clubs that he won last year with, or does he, during his time off, when he starts zoning his stuff in, does he go with a whole new set of clubs? Is that something that they all do, or do they, keep the old faithfuls? How does that work?
Yeah, most of them are going to keep the clubs as long as they can, because if it's working, they don't want to jinx messing with something else. And so most of them are not going to change too much. They might experiment with a different shaft, or if a wedge wears out, of course, they'll put a new wedge in play. But most of the guys are going to play. So Scotty Scheffler's bag from this year to last year is exactly the same as far as we know.
Wow.
There's no changes. Like I said, if he does wear a wedge face out, obviously he'll have to get a new wedge. But his irons, he plays the P7TWs, which is the Tiger Woods blades. That's the iron he plays. His putter has not changed in 2 years. His driver, I don't think he's upgraded to the new driver yet. I think he's still playing last year's model or the year before. Rory was also playing the previous model driver, but then I think he switched recently. It's hard to say because sometimes you see them on TV and they'll be using a new driver, but then you'll see the next round they've gone back to the other one. So like I said, sometimes they're changing daily. Usually it's driver or putter. It's rarely like the irons. That rarely ever gets changed. And also, again, going back to Aaron Rye's win at the PGA, the driver he was playing was a TaylorMade M6, which is like over 10 years old, I think.
Wow.
So, he's still playing and rocking the old faithful, So sometimes you get guys where they're going to play something until it breaks because they just love it so much and they're too scared to think that something newer might be any better. It might be, it might not be, but in their mind it's like, look, this one's working, so let's just don't mess with it, kind of thing.
And also they just don't have the wear and tear on it.
Yeah.
I mean, did you have basketball shoes? Did you change them out every 2 to 3 years or every year?
Every year.
Yeah, every year.
Yeah.
The balls.
You're going to wear them out for sure.
Yeah, the balls, same deal. Baseball cleats.
Alan, I know you've asked me to play golf with you because you know that I'm probably pretty good at it.
Sure, of course.
But that's probably the reason why I've turned you down several times because my clubs are really old. and I would hate to be laughed at whenever I come on the green to start hitting. Until you see me hit it, then you'd realize that Old Faithful is still working. Just kidding.
Well, you're welcome. You're welcome anytime.
Well, let's change gears a little bit. I'm talking with Alan Watson of Golf Plus. Alan, tell us what's going on with the store. I know you've got a lot of new inventory. I know that you've got the Whatnot store going, and it's rocking and rolling. So how's it been going with all of that? Plus, have you been getting any new inventory?
Yeah, we've got some new inventory. We just got in new head covers and new ball markers from a company called Roosevelt that does licensing. So this particular batch we got in is Star Wars. So we have all kinds of cool Star Wars head covers if you're into that sort of thing. And we also have lots of ball markers. So a lot of fun stuff. It's just, sometimes it's just fun to kind of dress up your clubs, dress up your bag, have something new in there. Maybe you don't want to spend $700 on a new driver, but you can spend $50 or $60 on a new head cover or $15 on a new ball marker or whatever. So we got new head covers in from Pins and Aces. We got boxing gloves, which are really fun. A lot of guys like to use those covers, so we got those. Trying to think of what else is new. We're going to have some new putters. The new line of spiders from TaylorMade will be here in a few weeks, so that's kind of something new that's coming, but it's not here quite yet. But overall, we're kind of in that middle part of the season where there's not too many new introductions. But, yeah, I know you mentioned the Whatnot store. Whatnot has been incredible for us. That's an online app, if you guys are not familiar with it, where you can do what's called social shopping, where you can come in. It's kind of like watching the old QVC or whatever those television networks where you could buy stuff, but instead of just buying it, you have to battle out everybody else in an auction style format. So it's a lot of fun, and we've been absolutely killing it on that platform. The shows just keep getting bigger and bigger. We have a show tonight where it's Beach Golf Shop. If you're looking on Whatnot, Beach Golf Shop. We have a show tonight at 6. It's going to be a men's clothing show, so mostly golf polos, maybe some hats and stuff. And then Sunday night, we'll go back to our normal format, which is our what we call Clubs and More, where we do used clubs, new clubs, and then a mix of other products like hats, ball markers, head covers, electronics, just all kinds of stuff, golf balls, but it's mostly clubs. And that format has done extremely well for us, and we're having a lot of fun.
So when you talk about the Whatnot, do you have a set price that it starts at, or does everything kind of set off at like $1? Like, how does that work?
Yeah,
and then does it, if you do, somehow, some way, get a cheaper, price on something, that's what it is, right? There's not a lot of extra, it has to be, best offer has to be at $25 or anything like that.
Right. We start most of our auctions at $1. We do start some of our auctions a little bit higher, especially if it's something like electronics where we know the price is going to go so much higher anyway that it's like might as well start it at $50 or $25 or whatever. So we do have some things that start at other prices other than $1. But you're right. I mean, whatever it sells for is what it sells for, and we don't get to go back and say, well, now, wait a minute, we would have liked to make more money, or we didn't even cover our cost or whatever. Sometimes we lose. I mean, we've sold several drivers below cost. We've sold some irons below cost. It's not a perfect process if you're a business owner who needs to make money on every sale. It's not a great deal for that. But we're looking at it in the sense that we're in the process of, we're only like 6 shows in, we're building our audience, we're building our following, and so we know that down the road when we have more people on the platform and more people coming to our shows, we know those prices will get back to kind of more what I call normalized pricing. But right now, we've got some items that have sold for well over what they should have sold for in terms of retail because people were battling it out. We've also had some items we've taken a loss on, and that's just the cost of doing business when you're getting into a new platform and trying to build that audience. So that's just the way we look at it. It's not fun to lose money, but I look at it like advertising. We're just sort of building the audience.
So which platform are you on, and what times and days?
Yeah, so with Whatnot, we're on 2, sometimes 3 days a week, and you just have to start following us. Once you follow Beach Golf Shop on Whatnot, you'll then be notified when our shows are coming up as we post show notifications, and you can also tell it to like ring you 5 minutes before or whatever, and it'll tell you like, hey, they're about to go live. And then also as far as social media platforms, we're on Instagram, we're on TikTok and Facebook, Golf Plus PCB. On all 3 of those platforms, same name, Golf Plus PCB. It's an easy way to find us, and we share show links on there. We share videos of us testing clubs, videos of custom builds, all that kind of stuff. So our social media platforms are a great way to kind of keep up with what's going on in the shop.
So the Live Tour and everything, I know they're going through a lot of changes. They're trying to try a new model and everything. But do you think it's just a matter of time till it just basically just goes away? Or do you think it'll just take another form for like a minor league or something like that?
I think it'll go away at the end of the year. I don't think they'll get the funding they're seeking to keep it going. Even if they do get the funding, I don't think it'll last more than a year or two after that. Unfortunately, I think this experiment of having professional golf be team golf all the time and loud music and all these crazy things that they do, I'm okay with it. I don't have a problem with it. I just think that it's not a format that the world of golf was ready for, and I don't think that it translated well enough to call it like a success. I mean, you could say they made a little bit of money, maybe, I don't know, but the fact that the PIF is pulling out and saying, hey, this isn't worth our investment any longer and we're tired of, losing money, I just don't know why anybody else would come along and invest. So I think Live probably goes away at the end of this year, and I think some of these other guys disappear into the world of YouTube, or some of them, of course, will go DP World Tour. Some of them will go to the PGA Tour, and then some of them may just stop playing golf altogether. Who knows? Some of them have made so much money it doesn't matter, and at least not from a financial standpoint. They're not going to starve to death,
Do you think tennis is the only sport that's more stubborn and traditional as far as, like, change goes? Or do you think there's some other type of sport that's, I guess, more conservative than – other than golf, Is tennis the only one that's more conservative?
That's a great question. That's a great question. I mean, I think if you think about sports like tennis and like bowling, things like that, it's like kind of hard to change the rules, right? You can't all of a sudden be like, let's add an extra bowling pin, or let's make the lane, let's make the lane 10 feet longer. It's like the facilities aren't set up for that. Tennis courts aren't set up to be changed, right?
Yeah.
So I kind of see where, it's easier in a sport like golf because there's different venues and different things. It's easier to sort of morph it and change it. A sport like tennis or bowling would just be almost impossible to really change and do all that. So, but you're right, it is still pretty traditional, and a lot of people do have ideas about it. I mean, they have to walk. They can't ride carts on the regular tour. They can't. There's a clock that they're on, and they can't just drag their feet and so on and so forth. So, I mean, I think there's a lot of good there. I mean, Liv tried to change some things, and maybe for the good, but it kind of was one of those if it ain't broke, don't fix it sort of things. There wasn't really that much wrong with professional golf, and so I don't know that they've inflicted enough damage to the PGA Tour's reputation to cause any long-term changes to really stick, other than they've raised the purses a little bit by having a competitive tour cause the PGA Tour to have to give more money to the players, and nobody was going to complain about that. But other than the sponsors who probably had to pony up more money.
When you think about it, it's like what the XFL did to the NFL. There was already an established product that was successful, and then when you tried to add these little gimmick things to it, it kind of, just fizzled out after a little while. But, I mean, I do have a great idea. I don't know if you would like this idea or not. Now, obviously, this wouldn't work for the professional golfers, but, man, it'd be awesome to have, like, you got 10 seconds to hit the ball, and if you don't, you get tackled, right? then what happens is after you guys tee off, then y'all hit the ball, and the thing is once everybody has hit the ball, now it's a race to go find the ball that's closest, and whoever gets to that ball first gets it, even if you hit it or if you didn't hit it. So then that's the other way you do it. So, I may not hit it good off the drive, but I'm faster than you, so I'm going to get to your ball that you hit good off the drive. So you have to hit my ball, and I'm going to hit your ball. So, I don't know.
Yeah,
might be something that could work.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it's going to be
there's always if you go to YouTube and create your own channel, you can create all the rules you want and do whatever you want, and some people will want to watch it. So I think alternative sports, we've sort of proven. There's a lot of things out there that I didn't even know were a sport, like professional pillow fighting, and who I don't know who decided that throwing hacky sacks through a wooden pegboard on the floor is a sport, but apparently cornhole's a sport, and so on and so forth. So, the world of the internet and the world of cable television has opened it up. So maybe, Paul, maybe your idea will come to fruition one day.
Maybe. You never know. And then you got to think, they do have, inside of a car grappling where you can choke each
Yes,
other
you
with
told me about
seatbelts.
that.
So I think it's fantastic. If they got that, we got a chance.
The only thing that's going to sponsor your idea, Paul, is Happy Gilmore 3, the movie that's coming out on such and such date.
That's right. Well, Alan, thank you so much, my friend. We are going to have to go. Make sure that you sell everything you got tonight at 6 o'clock on Whatnot.
Yeah. Thanks a lot, guys. Appreciate y'all.
Yes, sir. Have a good night. Alan Watson, everybody from Golf Plus, go see them. When we come back, we will dive into more of the NBA. We got some NFL and we got some college football at the top of the hour. You're listening to the Sports Blitz with Paul Wilson right here at 104.3 ESPN, Northwest Florida.
.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. This is Braves country.
This one's going supersonic.
The NL East leading Atlanta Braves coming up tonight.
You in trouble now. It's a 2-run homer.
The Atlanta Braves versus the Miami Marlins at Lone Depot Park in Miami. We'll have Game 4 coverage starting at 6 right here on your home for the Atlanta Braves on the Gulf Coast.
ESPN Northwest Florida.
PCB Hobby, the beach's premier hobby store for sports cards, comics, coins, and trading card games. PCB Hobby carries the largest selection of boxes and packs from the latest releases of brands like Topps, Panini, Leaf, and more. Looking for a specific player or team? PCB Hobby has a wide assortment of raw and created cards. They carry parallel rookie, game used, and autographed cards in both modern and vintage. Have a collection you want to sell? We buy, sell, and trade. PCB Hobby on Back Beach Road, just east of Florida Linen. Call 850-320-8388.
No one wants to deal with a plumbing, electrical, or HVAC emergency. It's even worse when you're not sure what it'll cost, when it'll get fixed, or if someone's just selling you something. When you call Hiller, you can trust our experts to actually solve your home's problems quickly. And with true transparency pricing, you know the price you're told is the price you'll actually pay. Book online now at happyhiller.com. Happy you'll be, or the service is free.
I'm a happy face truck today.
Are you looking for a place to take a leak? Do you have a truck, tractor, or other hydraulic equipment leaking or not performing as it should? At Reliable Hydraulic Solutions, we can get you back to work. Do you have a busted or leaking hose? We can typically replace them while you wait. Hydraulic cylinder or pump needing repair? In many cases, we can have it back to you the next day. Reliable Hydraulic Solutions, 6840 Highway 77 in Southport, just south of Tractor Supply. The best place in town to take a leak.
104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida gets results. Here's Brandon Strickland from Recommended Collision Center, Jinx Avenue in Panama City.
At Recommended Collision Center, we're all about taking care of our community, and advertising on 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida has helped us do just that. Social media ads were getting stale, but the Sports Blitz with Paul Wilson gave us a fresh way to reach local customers. We've seen more vehicles coming in for estimates, more phone calls, and more people recognizing our name. It's been a great partnership for our business, pairing up with 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
To see how 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida can help grow your business, go to ESPNPC.com and click the contact button. Get your message heard and cut through the clutter. Go to ESPNPC.com and click the contact button.
Your put-downs, smackdowns, and shutdowns.
That's the difference between a winning football team and a losing football team.
It's a Trash Talk Thursday on the Sports Blitz with Paul Wilson. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Welcome back. You're listening to the Sports Blitz with Paul Wilson right here, 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida, your spot for the Atlanta Braves. Don't forget the Braves tonight, right after the show, 6 o'clock. Is the coverage. 6:15 is the first pitch. Hopefully the Bravos can stay in the win column. Don't forget, if you want to be a part of this show, you can be. 850-215-6290 is the way you do that. You can comment on our Facebook page as well, or send us a text message. Either way, we're going to go ahead and go to the phone line right now. We've got Nate on the line. Nate, how are you today, my friend?
Hey, it's Thursday.
It is Thursday.
It's a good day. Only 3.5 more days of driving bus.
Yeah, let me ask you this before you get into what you wanted to talk about. How do you feel about what the NFL is trying to do as far as moving the Seahawks back to the AFC because they see a better, clearer picture for the Chiefs to be set up to win more games?
I don't know why they got to go mess with stuff, but it's their league. They can do whatever they want. I don't care. As long as the Hawks dominate somebody, it don't matter.
Okay, well, I was going to try to pull your chain a little bit to see if you would fall for that. Obviously, they're not doing that, but I wanted to make sure that you were okay with it because you know what? To be the man, you got to beat the man. So it don't matter who I play. I just want to play, right?
That's right. I mean, until we get dethroned, we're still champs.
That's right. I understand.
So who do you want to play in the Super Bowl this year?
Well, barring any injuries or anything, I think we can get back there. Whether we do or not will be proved on the field. But if I had my AFC druthers, I would like to see us go up against the Denver Broncos, which should have been the real Super Bowl last year.
Yeah. Well, you know as well as I do. It's just part of being healthy. I mean, every time Kansas City is nothing without Mahomes. I believe Seattle's in the same boat. I don't believe they have, is Locke still the backup quarterback or is it Jalen Milroe? Either way, neither one of those guys is going to be able to lead the Seahawks to the championship. If Matthew Stafford goes out, it's over.
Well, I don't believe that. Drew Locke is a very good quarterback.
Really?
And a lot of people don't recognize that because he's riding the bench right now. But he's come in very, very often and spelled whatever we needed, and he was very successful. So I don't have a problem with Drew Luck running the offense that they've got planned for this year, which is going to be a lot more violent of a run game than you probably have ever seen, which is very important to me because that brings me to my point. Yesterday, my good buddy, my Pee-wee football player, Savon Ahmed from Dolphins fame, signed with the Bears.
Nice.
Okay? Now, they've got him slated to compete for the RB3, but I guarantee you he's going to look like an RB1 coming out. He's had all year to rehab after taking a drop tackle in OTAs last year with the Colts, so you never got to see him play, and he was looking super good after coming back from another minor injury the year before. But I'm telling you right now, he looks good, he feels good, and he's the type of person that because the coach from Miami is now with the Bears, remembered him and says, I need that guy in my locker room because he breathes excellence.
Nice.
And that's what he's been his entire life. He's lived with an excellent attitude. He's God-fearing. He's got a great family life, and everybody supports him. And he's just a really good, solid American. I mean, he's all there.
Well,
every aspect.
That sounds really good. Let me ask you this as far as the whole NFL right now. If there's one team you could say that is going to be the surprise team of the NFL because of maybe what they did in the draft or maybe what they did in free agency or maybe changing of the coach, what's one team that you think, because I know who I'm thinking, I'm going to go ahead and say it. Joe Burrow, outside of if he doesn't get hurt, I think this is going to be the year that they're going to really have an opportunity to win their division.
You think they're going to get back?
I don't know if they'll get back, but I think they're going to be definite playoff, and because I think they've got enough weapons as long as that offensive line can just hold up and he doesn't get hurt. I think it happens.
That's not the problem. It's not so much the offensive line or the offense. You know they have a good offense. It's the defense. If you don't get enough defensive, stability, then they've got to score all those points.
Yeah, I think they'll be better on defense. That's where I was going to say. They got Dexter Lawrence to stop the run. That'll be a big help. They got some help in the back end. I think they're going to be better defensively, which is, to your point, I think that's going to make them a better football team overall.
There's so much that happened this last year with new head coaches and people moving around and doing different things. If I had to pick a team that was going to come out of nowhere and finally make a difference and maybe get over that hurdle, I'm going to have to man, I hate to say it. I really hate to say this.
Don't say it.
The Bears.
No.
The Vikings.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking. It was them or the Texans. I was thinking Vikings or Texans. Because let me tell you, every single third-place team from last year is going to make the playoffs, except for the Dolphins. And the only other one that's probably going to miss is maybe the Colts. But every third-place team, mark my words, 49ers, Commanders, Vikings, Falcons. Yes, you heard it.
Oh, my God.
Yes. All the third-place teams from last year will make the playoffs, except for probably the Colts and the Dolphins, and that's it. That's 6 teams that finished third place will go to the playoffs this year.
Wow.
That's how upside down this league's going to be.
You believe in Kyler Murray? I don't believe in Kyler Murray. I don't believe in Kyler Murray.
It doesn't matter. He's going to the playoffs.
Let me put it to you this way: if you can get Kyler Murray outside the pocket and with a clean field to either create with his legs, which we know he can do, I would prefer him not to do for his own benefit. But if you can get the ball to JJ, I mean, come on. You've got a stellar tight end. You've got a wide receiver core that's probably one of the best, or at least top 5. They've got everything in place offensively that they need to, and the defense has always been solid. And the decline with Detroit and everybody's going to overlook them. That's the thing. You said surprise. You said to come up with somebody that you don't expect.
Yeah.
Nobody expects the Vikings to do anything. They're just going to fall on their face like they have. I mean, giving up Sam Darnold, or J.J. McCarthy gets hurt, or it's always something. Now they don't have those excuses anymore.
Is it going to be Kyler Murray though? If Kyler Murray stays healthy, they make a playoff. If he doesn't stay healthy, do you have confidence in J.J. McCarthy?
But that's the whole thing. I mean, their coach needs to figure it out, and I think that if Kyle Murray's at OTAs, which I believe he is.
Yeah, he is.
If he's out there playing the way I know he can. Everybody said, "Oh, he's too short. He's all this." You know what? That guy has been playing football at a high level his entire life, even with the critics. And the only reason he's been where he is now compared to where he was is because he was on the Cardinals, who were the 4th-place team perennially in the AFC West. And they were getting the doors beat off of them. It's amazing he's not retired from all the damage that he's taken. But he came back, and you know what? He tries hard. It's not that he doesn't have the heart, because he does. I wish him the best, is what I'm trying to say. I've never had any ill will for Kyle Murray. I want to see – he looks just like my son-in-law, except shorter. So, I mean, the Vikings haven't – I like the Vikings. I have a friend who's in Ireland. He's a Vikings fan. I want the Vikings to be that surprise team. I would love to see them contend for at least a playoff spot, if not second place in the NFC North. But, it's a tough division.
It's tough.
But they're battle-tested. They are battle-tested. They've been knocked around, so it's all up to them whether or not they want to win or not, honestly.
Well, Nate, thank you so much for the call, man. It's a pleasure as always. We got to take our next break. When we come back, we got to talk some college football. You're listening to the Sports Blitz with Paul Wilson right here at 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
ESPN Northwest Florida.
The Dan Patrick Show.
Cade Cunningham, as much as everybody wanted to include him in the MVP conversation, this is where legacies are built. This is where you validate that. When somebody says, man, that guy played his heart out. He played great. Well, he didn't. When you don't score in the second half of a Game 7?
It's the Dan Patrick Show, weekday mornings from 9 till 11. ESPN Northwest Florida.
This is Joanna with ESPN Northwest Florida. Here is your weather forecast on this Thursday evening. As we head into tonight, some clouds and a low of 75 with a light breeze around 5 miles per hour coming out of the south-southeast. For tomorrow morning, some clouds and a temp near 82.
In the afternoon and evening, a likelihood of thunderstorms and some clouds, and a high around 83. For Saturday, possible thunderstorms and a high of 82. This weather forecast is brought to you by Earthworks of Northwest Florida. Thank you for listening to ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
Crawfish season is back, and the heat is on at Lone Star Boil House. Lone Star Boil House is where the locals go for delicious, mouth-watering Cajun crawfish, shrimp, buttery red royals, and everything crab. Plus, Lone Star Boil House is now serving liquor. Get crawfish 6 days a week, open to close. To-go crawfish also available at the front bar, and crush the follow on Facebook for frequent food and drink specials. Lone Star Boil House, 320 West 5th Street, downtown Panama City.
WGSX Lynn Haven, WVLQ Port St. John. ESPN Northwest Florida.
Experience a higher level of service. David Adamson Designer Jewelry has been providing you the very best of fine jewelry and repair in Lynn Haven for over 32 years. David has added Amber Anderson and Russ Klinger, names you've known and trusted in PCB for years with your fine jewelry and watch needs. Find that one-of-a-kind engagement ring, that special anniversary gift, or something colorful just for you. Amber and Russ will find it or build it for you. Serving Bay County and beyond in Lynn Haven at the corner of Ohio Avenue and 9th. David Adamson Designer Jewelry.
Some people say our opinions are toxic. We say they're just a little terminal. The Sports Blitz.
This malpractice committee has received a few complaints against you.
On 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
What it do, people? It's the homie Lil Cash. Right now you tuned in with Paul Wilson on the Sports Blitz. 104.3 ESPN, Northwest Florida, the hottest sports show in the South. Let's go. It's Lil Cash with another hit with Paul Wilson on the Sports Blitz. Where they talk trash and they talk ish. When it comes to sports, man, they too legit. It's 104.3 ESPN. If you love sports, better chime in. NFL, college, local sports, they got it. NBA, they got it. Sports Blitz, the topic. The show hottest wasabi. Better tune in and go watch it. Hey, Sports Blitz with Paul Wilson. If you even tried, you can't stop. Bone Crusher gon' pop it. No Jeff gon' pop it. Go like, comment, subscribe, and share. Right now.
We are back live and local right here at 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. This is the Sports Blitz with Paul Wilson, and we're so glad that you joined us today. We are pumped up, hot, and no clouds in the sky. It's beautiful outside, and it is beautiful in here. I've got Bone Crusher in here, crushing the ones and the twos. Jeffrey's in here with his Bobby Boucher shirt on. If you get a chance, go on Facebook, check it out. If you want to be a part of this show, you can be. 850-215-6290 is the way you do that. You can call in, you can text in, you can comment on the Facebook page, you can comment on the YouTube. You can call in and do whatever you want. But I got to talk about this. Last night, while everybody was sleeping, while everybody was asleep, something happened. And it happened by none other than the LSU Tigers, Lane Kiffin Tigers, has decided to add Ed Orgeron, Coach O, back to the program. He's returning to LSU and will serve as the special assistant to recruiting and defense. Head football coach Lane Kiffin announced, "I'm excited to bring Coach O back to LSU. He brings us tremendous value with his ability to recruit elite players nationally, but especially the impact he has for us recruiting the great state of Louisiana. Coach O understands my expectations and commitments to being a championship program. I look forward to seeing him with recruits and his intensity working with our defensive players." Orgeron returns to LSU after spending nearly 6 years as the head coach of the Tigers, a span that saw him lead the program to a 15-0 mark in the national championship in 2019. So are we ready to hear it again? Go Tigers. Because that's what we're going to be hearing. Jeffrey is the resident LSU fan. You are a Cajun, by God, and you are everything that LSU represents. Are you pumped up and excited to have Coach O back in Baton Rouge.
He better behave himself.
What?
Yeah.
That's all you got?
Yeah, he better behave himself.
That's all you got?
Well, do you know the reason why he got let go?
Yeah, he lost football games.
No, it's more than that.
I know, but it was because he lost football games. Let me tell you the story. I was there the night Coach O got fired. How about that? They were playing Kentucky in Lexington, and so after the game, after they lost, Coach O and they have a place where you can go where the visiting team's locker room, it runs. They have a place where you just go right under the stadium, and it goes right out to the bus right there. So after the game, if you want to go see the players, talk to the players, because that's where the parents go, that's where the people that come to visit them go. And so me and my wife, we were there. My son played on the UK marching band, and so we went to that game specifically to watch LSU. Keyshawn Butte was their best wide receiver that night, but they lost. He got hurt his ankle or something like that. So anyway, we come down there to wait for Coach O and just to see what's going on, because everybody knew that game was the pivotal game. They kept saying, if he keeps losing, if he keeps doing this, it's going to happen. And then they lost to Kentucky. For goodness sakes. And so
it wasn't basketball.
No, it wasn't basketball. It was really bad. So Coach O is standing by the locker room, and he's got his security guys with him. And this guy from Kentucky, and I'm standing there, and I'm watching this. This guy from Kentucky just kind of was talking to somebody. He had his Kentucky shirt on. He was talking to somebody, and he kind of was just kind of like standing, and then kind of just moved over to the right a little bit, and he was kind of just talking. They were talking. He was moving. Well, he didn't know that Coach O it was time for him to get on the bus, and he was mad. You could see it all over his face. They had just lost to Kentucky. He was about to be fired. I think he knew that he was fired. I think that was the deal. And then all of a sudden, Coach O bumps into the guy as he's walking by. And Coach O gave him the old elbow, like flagrant 2, kicked out of the game elbow, pushed the guy out of the way. The guy's standing there like, what is going on? And then all of a sudden he sees Coach O and all these security guys, and the security guys kind of push the guy out of the way too. And then it's just like, oh my gosh, he just got fired right there in front of everybody, and he's fired up mad. And so anyway, I was there the night Coach O got fired. Now, do you believe that this is a good move for the LSU Tigers? Tell the truth.
I think it brings more passion, but it's not a good. It's not a good look.
Right.
It's not a good look, because it was more than just losses, really. And I don't think. No, I don't believe in. No, I don't think it needs to be in this program.
Really? You don't?
Yeah.
Why?
It's his treatment of women.
What?
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow. Really? You think so?
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah.
Well, before we continue to talk, I've got breaking news, and this is not good. It's really bad news, and just come over the line. This is straight up right now breaking news. Unfortunately, the NASCAR community has lost one of its drivers, Kyle Busch. A 2-time Cup Series champion who won more races than anyone across NASCAR's 3 national series, has died today at the age of 41. The Busch family, Richard Childress Racing, and NASCAR issued a joint statement saying that Busch died after being hospitalized. No cause of death was given. The statement says, our entire NASCAR family is heartbroken by the loss of Kyle Busch, a future Hall of Famer. Kyle was a rare talent, one who comes along once in a generation. He was fierce, he was passionate, he was immensely skilled, and he cared deeply about the sport and fans. The statement went on to say that throughout a career that spanned more than 2 decades, Kyle set records in national series wins, won championships at NASCAR's highest level, and fostered the next generation of drivers as the owner of a truck series. His sharp wit and competitive spirit sparked a deep emotional connection with race fans of every age, creating the proud and loyal Rowdy Nation. So there you have it, guys. Unfortunately, no cause of death has been shared yet, but it has come to our attention that has happened, and condolences, prayers for the family. This is just unfortunate. When I watch NASCAR, when I've watched NASCAR, he's always been kind of one of my favorites because it wasn't that he was reckless, it was just he was willing to take chances.
Oh yeah.
And obviously taking chances sometimes didn't end his way, and sometimes taking chances did. And then there were sometimes that people would be really upset. But at him, but
he's a competitor.
Yeah. And man, it's just really hurtful that
41's way too early.
Yeah, I hate that. It's just a sad day for NASCAR, sad day for their family, and I hope he's okay. I hope that they're okay. I know that it had said on one of the things that I was reading that he had an illness. So I don't know if he had complications with the illness or surgery or what, but unfortunately, man, had to share that. But Kyle Busch, 41 years old, passed away. Wow. So either way. So you say that, let's get back to talking about Coach O. See, I think Coach O is one of those key figures in college football that even like right now, here we are in the kind of the dead season of college football. He gets hired. Now you've got something more to talk about. He was at USC when Lane Kiffin was there, so they're familiar with each other.
So
he took over the program after Lane Kiffin had left because he was the interim.
Let me go back because it was. We're talking 25 years ago.
Yeah,
when Pete Carroll took over.
Yeah,
and he was there, and then he stayed under Pete Carroll.
Yep,
and then Lane Kiffin came in also.
Yep.
And so they're both assistants, and they both dealt with the recruiting at USC. And let's look at all the people that he had. They were stacked.
Yeah.
The only team that was even comparatively stacked in that whole era was the Miami Hurricanes.
Yeah, that's true.
And then they both went to Tennessee, right? And they were both at Tennessee together. I don't know if you knew that.
I didn't realize he went to Tennessee with him.
Yeah.
But when they let go of when Lane Kiffin was
Lane Kiffin went to USC after Tennessee was only 1 year.
1 year.
He lasted 3 years, and he didn't do very well. And then when they let Lane go, Coach Orgeron was interim coach.
Yeah,
and he did a great job. I think he lost like one game.
Yeah, he tried to stay on, but they said, you know what, we're going to move on from him, and which worked out for him because he went to Ole Miss then.
Yes, he did.
And then
he had one good year.
Yeah, he didn't do very well there, and then he eventually went to LSU, and the rest is history there.
Yeah.
But now he goes back. What is the college of LSU doing? Like, seriously.
It's not a money grab. It's a win grab. In every sport, they're doing whatever they can do to get back.
So,
because women's basketball and softball can't be your sports, or gymnastics.
Right.
We're the women's sports school right now, is all we are.
Johnny Jones was fired in 2017 as the head basketball coach. Now he's an assistant hired back under Will Wade.
Oh, wow.
2026. Coach O fired in 2021.
Nostalgia.
Now hired back 2026. Will Wade fired in 2022. Now he is the head basketball coach in 2026.
Yeah.
So LSU is saying we got to get these guys back because we want to win. The reason why a lot of them left was because, Wade wasn't because he was losing. It was because he was cheating.
Yeah.
But Orgeron left because of losing. So Orgeron coming back, helping with the defense, getting with the recruiting. The sky's the limit now for Kiffin, right? That's kind of opened up because you can say what you want about Orgeron. Orgeron knows how to get players. I could see Orgeron being at a recruit's house and being like, "You want to talk to Joe Burrow? You want to talk to Joe Burrow right now? I'll call him. I'll call Joe Burrow right now. He'll answer my call."
You want Justin Jefferson?
Right, that's what I'm saying. You want to talk to Jamar Chase? You want to talk to Justin Jefferson? I'll call him right now. You want to be like them? You want to hang out with them? We'll call them. Me and you'll go to their house. I could see. I sound like him, don't I?
You do.
That's pretty good. But I could see Orgeron doing that.
Yeah.
And
well, they're already winning in the state.
we
rarely lose guys.
Right,
Devonta Smith for Alabama.
Yeah.
That's an exception. But for 90% of the people that we want to keep in state, we keep.
Yeah, they usually go to LSU.
Yeah.
I mean, it's almost like a born and bred in
It
LSU.
is.
And there's not another team that really grabs them. You know, Alabama's got Auburn. You know, Georgia, they got Georgia Tech, but
even in
LSU
college
doesn't have anybody.
Even in college towns like Ruston, Louisiana, where Louisiana Tech is, Ruston High.
Yeah,
those kids they only want to go one place, and
right.
that's LSU.
And I think, see, they said that they were like, oh, we want to make sure we stay in the state, all that, and that's fine. They got Coach O because he's nationally known. Coach O is a figure. Whether you like Coach O or you hate Coach O, it's just like Lane Kiffin. You know, my question to you is Coach O going to be doing the hot yoga too?
No, he will not be.
I mean, gosh. So, I mean, they're going to be the favorites, right? I mean, coming in, I mean, you've got Texas, you got Georgia. I mean, LSU now adding this other piece.
There's going to come a point where a lot of these schools, and it's not just LSU, are going to have to balance a budget and say, guess what? We don't have all the money that we're spending. And you can't run with a Texas Longhorns and try and compete with them with the money that they're spending, or even Ohio State Buckeyes. LSU does not have that kind of money. We can't run with those big boys for 5, 6, 7 years straight. There's got to be a point where you buckle up and you just don't. You just can't run with those boys. And I think the Florida State Seminoles kind of realize that right now, that they can't spend that kind of money to run with those big boys. And then who out west, same deal. UCLA, Cal Berkeley, Stanford, they don't have that kind of money. Can't run with those guys because they're just spending so much money right now. It's unbelievable. Nobody's balancing the budget. They need accounting people in the athletic department that can like rein it back because it's going overboard right now in all sports.
Yeah, but you got to look at what they've done. They're probably upping the prices at the gate.
Yes.
They're going to be having more now that the SEC is opening the alcohol deal. They're going to sell loads of more of alcohol,
especially at LSU.
At LSU. You know, and Kiffin's going to be able to bring in more donors. He's going to bring in more businesses. They got donations from businesses that are everywhere. I mean, I get it where, you know, you think, oh, well, these donations, I guarantee you, businesses from other states are donating to the LSU program.
Wow.
And if you think about it, you've got alumni that have businesses in other states, but you also got LSU fans that, you know, it's just like here. If somebody in Panama City Beach has a big business that's a multi-million-dollar corporation and their favorite team is the LSU Tigers, who's to say they're not going to send them, you know, $500,000? And if they've got a bunch of those coming in, that's what they're doing. We all know that Texas has the money. I mean, that's proven. But LSU wasn't like last. They were in the top 10. So, I mean, you gotta think that they're going to continue with the money. They're going to continue to make money. Lane Kiffin is going to bring more. I mean, his style of coaching, his style of being. I mean, he was in Vanity Fair magazine. I mean, look, there's probably never been an LSU coach to be in Vanity Fair magazine.
True.
Ever.
Yeah.
And so what does that do? That opens him up. What if he's friends with the stars? What about Burrow? What about Chase? What about Jefferson? What about Odell Beckham? What about Tyrann Mathieu? What about all those guys that have all this money? I mean, if Lane calls them or if Coach O calls them and says, hey guys, can y'all put together $4 or $5 million? We need some for this recruit we got coming in. Well, who's to say they're not going to be like, go ahead. We got you, Coach. Yeah, we got you. They love them. So LSU moving in the direction of Texas. They got to, because you said it right. You got to be able to spend the money, and that's what they're doing. We're probably going to go ahead. Yeah, we're going to go ahead and take a break. I want to continue on this talk because it matters who is on your coaching staff too. When we come back, we're going to talk about a little bit more of that. I want to get your opinion about it. You're listening to the Sports Blitz with Paul Wilson right here at 104.3 ESPN, Northwest Florida.
104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. This is Braves Country.
This one's going supersonic.
The NL East leading Atlanta Braves coming up tonight.
You in trouble now. It's a 2-run homer.
The Atlanta Braves versus the Miami Marlins at Lone Depot Park in Miami. We'll have Game 4 coverage starting at 6 right here on your home for the Atlanta Braves on the Gulf Coast.
ESPN Northwest Florida.
This is Joanna with ESPN Northwest Florida. Here is your weather forecast on this Thursday evening. As we head into tonight, some clouds and a low of 75 with a light breeze around 5 miles per hour coming out of the south-southeast. For tomorrow morning, some clouds and a temp near 82. In the afternoon and evening, a likelihood of thunderstorms and some clouds and a high around 83. For Saturday, possible thunderstorms and a high of 82. This weather forecast is brought to you by Earthworks of Northwest Florida. Thank you for listening to ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
Overheard at the Hard Rock Bet Party.
I just got another NBA offer from Hard Rock Bet.
A Hard Rock Bet promo at the Hard Rock Bet Party? That is so meta.
That's not meta. That's Meta World Peace. Meta. Tell them about Hard Rock Bet.
Hard Rock Bet has it all. Live odds for every NBA game, every player prop, same game parlays, you name it. It's the only place I play these days.
Okay, now that is meta.
Hard Rock Bet. Roll with us. Offered by the Seminole Tribe of Florida. Must be 21 plus and physically present in Florida to wager. Terms and conditions apply. Concerned about your gambling? Call or text 1-833-PLAY-WISE.
When it comes to building smart and roofing right, TK Vandy's is the name you can trust. They're your go-to for general contracting, design build solutions, and top quality roofing. From concept to completion, they deliver excellence on time and on budget. Whether it's a custom build or a complex renovation, they've got you covered, literally. Call TK Vandy today and build something better together. TK Vandy, built with purpose, roofed with pride.
ESPN Northwest Florida advertisers get results. Here's Max Fit Sports Nutrition owner Jason Kovaleski.
So if you're looking to advertise or if you have a small business and you're looking to drive traffic to your store, check out ESPN 104.3 with Coach James Hale Show. I've been working with them for 7 years. They've driven a lot of traffic to my business. I get people all the time in my store that say, hey, I've heard you on the radio. It's one thing to advertise on the radio where people may hear it. It's another thing to be able to come on, talk to your customers directly. It's just one of the best form of advertisements I did, and I've gotten great returns off of it. So if you're looking for some form of advertisement to drive traffic, check out Coach Hale Show on ESPN. Contact Coach Hale, and he'll hook you up and get you started in the right direction and get you a lot more business.
Get results for your business. Call ESPN Northwest Florida, 850-215-4468. 850-215-4468.
Your put-downs, smackdowns, and shutdowns.
That's the difference between a winning football team and a losing football team.
It's a Trash Talk Thursday on the Sports Blitz with Paul Wilson. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
We are back live and local right here at 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. This is the Sports Blitz with Paul Wilson, and we're pumped up and ready to go. Don't forget, if you want to be a part of this show, you can be. 850-215-6290 is the way you do that. And don't forget, right after the show tonight, the Braves take on the Miami Marlins right here at 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. The Braves are sponsored by Hewitt Tire and Auto, Brock Pest Control, Bill Bird Kia, PCB Hobby, Cito, and Blue Diamond Truck Accessories. We are still talking about college football right now. Some big news had come across the line last night. Coach O is going to the Tigers, and he is back with Lane Kiffin again and hoping to win some championships down there at LSU. And you think they're sitting pretty good this year, aren't you? I can see it in your face.
Got a tough schedule, man.
Yeah, you don't have a lot. You're not trying to talk too much about. You were very talkative about the baseball team. You were very talk about the football team. But you've been very quiet.
They just ended their season last night against Auburn.
Yeah,
it's over with for baseball. They're not going to the regional.
They might.
No.
They don't have
They're the 14 seed. They beat, I can't remember who they beat in the first round. Oklahoma, I think it might have been. I don't know. And then they turned around and lost 3-1 last night in the late game in Hoover against Auburn.
Yeah.
And the top 8 teams move on in the SEC tournament, and all those teams are a cinch for regionals, and then there'll be the 9, 10, and 11 that move on. But, just wasn't enough.
Yeah.
Not this year.
But I'm just curious though. So when you have these guys that used to be head coaches, so Nick Saban was the master of this. He would always grab those guys to come on to be a special assistants. He had Lane Kiffin. He had Steve Sarkisian. He would have those guys that have been head football coaches come to his program. Bill O'Brien, bringing up those kind of guys. And they had success. Now you've got, Sark has got Bob or Mark Stoops. He's with him. Several times Ohio State has had, Chip Kelly. They had Bill O'Brien calling the plays for them. They've had these guys that used to be head coaches that would come in and be assistants. Now you got Lane Kiffin doing the same thing. And I just wonder, what do you think about that? Because it seems to work. It seems to, to be the deal. Kirby did that. Kirby brought on, I'm drawing a blank, the guy, Will Muschamp.
Oh, yeah.
Former Florida Gator head coach.
Yeah.
He brought Will Muschamp in to coach his defense, crazy, screaming, all that. That kind of stuff works. How do you feel about that? Do you think former head coaches coming into your program, because they know how to be a head coach, they know what goes on, they know what goes on behind the scenes, they know what's happening. Do you think that's a big deal to make sure you grab some of these coaches that have been head coaches?
They have to be humbled because they can't come in and think, oh, I used to be a coach. I'm still a coach. I'm still the big dog. I'm going to make all the decisions. I'm going to do things my way. You go under Saban and Kirby Smart. This used to not be a thing 25 years ago or 30 years ago. You didn't take in the NFL, I understand it happened. It happens all the time, but not in the college ranks.
Yeah.
Nobody gets humbled down to where they go and be an assistant coach or a coordinator or anything like that. And for some reason, it's been working. And I think it's because some coaches get humbled.
Yeah.
And they move back down and they say, you know what? The only way I can get back to being a head coach again at a major program and build back up is I've got to be humbled and I got to work and do it someone else's way. There was some arguments with Lane Kiffin when he was under Saban, right?
Yeah.
And it was because
he left him at the stadium one time. He had to get a ride from somebody else because Saban had told him the bus was leaving and and Kiffin was hanging out and talking. He got left at the stadium and he had to Uber or taxi or get somebody to drive him because the bus had left, the team bus had left, and Saban was tough. I mean, everybody remembers when Saban was cussing him out on the sideline.
Oh,
and what it was and what was crazy about Saban doing that is that he never really looked at him. He just kind of took his headset off and he was screaming in the direction, and Lane Kiffin was kind of standing over here. And so, it was.
And he took it.
Yeah. And
he took it.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Guys, if I saw Lane Kiffin on the side of the road looking for a ride, I'm not stopping.
What? Oh, my gosh. Would you give Lane Kiffin a ride?
Yes, I would, only because he's an LSU guy. No, there's a lot of guys that are other teams that I would give a ride to. But
yeah. Who wouldn't you give a ride to?
Steve Sarkisian, Ryan Day. I just have some hatred for some teams and some coaches.
Oh, wow.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
If you saw Ryan Day walking in the hot sun, you saw his car broke down.
No. Some of that hair coloring.
Are you serious?
Some of that hair coloring is going to get on my seat.
Oh, my gosh. Wow.
Bad dye job.
Yeah. So let me ask you, when we talk about these head coaches, I still can't believe you did that. He dyes his beard. His beard looks like
it does
Burt
not
Reynolds.
Look natural. The guy's older than me.
Yeah, the beard looks like Burt Reynolds.
No, you got to do subtle. It's got to be blended.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Coach Saban dyes his hair.
How come people don't tell him something about it?
He's the head coach.
He doesn't have real good friends. They don't tell this guy. I mean, come on, look at this guy.
Yeah, that's true.
It's got to be blended.
Yeah.
Man.
So yeah, if you got good friends, they'll tell you the truth.
Okay,
right?
So tell me, who are you not giving a ride to? Is it Pat Dye? Who is it?
I think Pat Dye's passed away, man.
Oh, well, you definitely not give him a ride.
Oh, my gosh.
I hope he's still living.
Oh,
come on,
man.
No.
Jeez.
Vince Dooley?
He's
passed away
too.
Derek Dooley, for sure.
Who would not give No, I'd give Derek a ride.
Yeah. Bob Stoops.
Hop in. No, Bob's fine.
No. Lincoln Riley.
No, I'd probably give Lincoln. I'd be like
Matt Rule.
No, Matt Rule's fine.
Jim.
I don't know.
Not Jim
man.
Harbaugh. You give him a ride.
I'd give Jim Harbaugh a ride. I don't know. Ryan
There's no
Day,
coach out there. Not even James Franklin.
Ryan Day. It would be really tough.
Yeah. Urban Meyer, you're definitely picking up.
Oh, yeah.
You want stories.
Well, I mean, I interviewed him. I mean, he was very nice to me. He liked. I mean, he was like, good. I love. I like your question. That was good. I liked it. I don't know, man. For me, I really don't like Brent Venables.
Ooh.
I mean,
wow.
I don't like that guy.
Wow.
So I don't know. I think I would get out, I've told you the whole story about him, right? After when Kirby was the head football or the defensive coordinator, Scott Cochran would always pull Kirby back. Well, we started playing them a lot, and then so Brent Venables started having their coach pull him back. He copied our deal, and then they made such a big deal about the rivalry between Alabama and Clemson, and it made, oh my gosh, Brent Venables is so smart and such a mastermind, and look, they have to pull him off the field because he's so intense. So I would probably pull over on the side of the road and then have him start talking to me, and then just walk behind him and pull him off to the side and be like, here, coach, you can walk the rest of the way. So maybe something like that. But no, I mean, if it came down to it, I would be like, I don't really like you, but get in. Like, where are you going? I guess. So let's get back to the original question. So it's worked. These guys have been humbled, like you said. They go back to college football in a assistant. They call them special assistant, or they eventually take over as a coordinator. A lot of those guys come in as special assistants first before they do coordinators, because they usually stay for 2 years. That's normally what they do. So it wouldn't be surprising to see Coach O being the defensive coordinator next year, because he's going to help with the defense this year. It wouldn't surprise me if he's the defensive coordinator next year. So going forward, I look for Coach O. If things go well, Coach O will be your new defensive coordinator next year. Now, that bids me to the next question. And this makes me wonder, because you got Stoops, you got Ogeron, and I know there's a couple of others. We'll have to look them up to come up with it. But do you believe that these guys, this is just temporary? Do you believe Coach O, if he does well, if they're successful, if Stoops does well, if they're successful, because he's going to be the defensive coordinator at Texas after this year. He's going to be a special assistant. He's going to see how Sark runs things, and then he's going to step into the defensive coordinator. So it's the same thing that they're doing at Texas that they're doing at LSU with O and Stoops.
Yeah.
So after that, if they're both successful, do you think they get another head coaching job?
I just don't see a fit for Orgeron in 98% of the places. I just don't think there's a lot of universities that would.
Do you think this is kind of his deal? He'll just roll with Kiffin, and it'll just be the Kiffin and Ogeron show.
Yeah, and then he'll get bored, and then he'll just end up retiring.
Yeah, because he's older anyway.
Yeah, he is older.
So what about Stoops though? I mean, will Stoops get back into being a head football coach? Do you think somebody else will give him a shot?
Absolutely.
He was a Florida State guy.
Yeah.
He was the defense coordinator when Florida State, for Jimbo, when they won the national championship.
Yeah.
Is that the move? Is that we haven't been talking about? Is Mark Stoops going to go to Florida State?
And he was at Oklahoma.
With his brother.
Yeah, under Bob.
Yeah.
I think there's a lot of places where he could end up, and it doesn't have to be a huge school. I mean, it could be Oklahoma State or something smaller than that. That he could be a fit at.
Does winning the national title, though, will catapult your career all over again, especially if you're a coordinator, or especially if you're, because that's what happened.
Former player.
Well, that's what happened to Kiffin. That's what happened to Sark. They won at Alabama.
Yeah.
They went off. Greg McElwain that went to Florida. That's what happened with him. He was Alabama's offensive coordinator.
Yeah.
He got the job. So that's the same thing that happened with Muschamp, right? He was at Florida, went to Georgia, and then boom, went to South Carolina.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
what. So this is the way. This is the plan forward. So you say no, 100% no, Ogeron, but you could see Stoops being somewhere else very soon after he turns into being a defensive coordinator. But did they have to win a national title at Texas for that to happen?
No, they have to go to like Final Four at least.
But they have to be very successful in the playoff. They have to make a run
in the playoffs. Yes.
Yeah. And you could see. Do you see him going to Florida State? Because I do.
Ooh.
I see him going to Florida State. I think Florida State could be the spot because.
But not after 1 year.
No, I'm saying after.
Because that's when the Florida State position is going to be available.
It's going to be available after this year.
Yeah, after this year.
Right.
1 year.
Yeah.
So it's not enough time.
Yeah, I think so.
The timing's not right.
If they're successful, he's in there. They know him. They know what he can do. I mean, why not? If they're available. Okay, so where are you going? What are you going to do? You're going to get an up-and-comer? You're going to bite the bullet and be like Florida? You're going to bite the bullet, be like Oklahoma State? You're going to bite the bullet and be like, those guys? Or are you going to say, you know what? Mark Stoops has been very successful at Kentucky, because you can say what you want about Kentucky. He's been successful. He's the all-time leading winning coach in Kentucky history. That's something. When you got the Alabamas and the LSUs and the Georgias of the world that you have to play every year. I mean, come on. He's the one that broke the streak against Florida. UK, before Stoops had gotten there, it had been like 20-something years, if not 30. So I'm saying Mark Stoops will probably be up for head coaching job, and he's got the name. He's got the touch to Florida State. Why wouldn't he go there? That's where I'm saying he's going. Because who are you going to take? Brian Kelly? You said no. You didn't like that fit. You said no. But Mark Stoops can't. I keep calling him Bob, but Mark Stoops can't go back to the SEC.
No.
He can't.
No,
Number one, where's he going to go?
Yeah.
Right?
Vanderbilt.
But Clark Lee's doing great.
Yeah.
He's doing wonderful.
Well, he's going to move up. He's going to go somewhere else eventually.
Nah, I don't think so. Who wants him?
If he's a winner, if he goes 9-3 this year, he's
going to Iowa, right?
Ooh, wow.
Yeah, that's where he's going, right?
I don't know.
He'll go like to Iowa. He'll go to a Big Ten program, right?
Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe.
So, I mean, and all these coaches getting shifted around and all that, now you got to look at who's going to need a coach, who's going to move, who's going to move to the NFL.
And it could be anybody. I mean, it could be a Rutgers team that just goes 7-6 or 8-5 and all that, and they say, "Oh, well, let's get this guy from Rutgers." You know, is it Greg Schiano? Is there?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, who? Willie Fritz. You hate me saying Willie Fritz.
You always
from
bring
Houston.
him up every time we talk about it. Yeah.
The guy from TCU's not leaving.
No, Sonny Dykes is
not going anywhere.
No.
Yeah. There's certain people who are just trenched in. They aren't going anywhere.
You got all these people that have transferred over to these different schools now. So there's the pool is very shallow of coaches. And Mark Stoops, as far as all the rest of them, him and Brian Kelly and Jimbo Fisher, if Jimbo's in the wanting to coach, that's got to be your three top coaches that are sitting out right now that are not head coaches.
Are the
Jimbo,
Virginia Cavaliers coach
Tony Elliott?
He's doing good.
Yeah.
Yeah, he could go somewhere else. Because let's be honest, the Cavaliers are not a big football school.
Yeah.
Never have been.
Well, you got to think who is the one that is going to be able to generate
through?
Yeah, but generate excitement, or the one that's been
all Virginia has to do is make the playoffs, a 12-team playoffs, and they're a big name again. And he'll be in the cycle as far as coaches go, and then he'll move on.
Wow.
That's what happens.
I guess.
Because, Bear Bryant was never going to stay at Kentucky.
No.
Because they were a basketball school.
Yeah.
And Virginia is similar to that.
Yeah. Yeah, but Tony Elliott,
Mario Cristobal.
Yeah. He's staying. He's got the U back.
Yeah, that's true.
Right?
I'm sorry, Manny Diaz from Duke. That's it. That's who I'm thinking about. Do you think he's going to stay at Duke?
Manny Diaz to Florida State.
Oh, wow.
Mark Stoops to Florida State. Jimbo Fisher back to Florida State.
It's so crazy to me. Maybe
Brian
my
Kelly.
mind is clouded. I just don't see. Maybe the SEC is the only conference that takes a person from inside of your conference and puts them as a head coach at another school. And it blows my mind that a person can leave from Florida and go to Georgia, or go from Georgia to Florida. Your rivals, you should have hatred.
Right.
Nobody goes from Michigan to Ohio. Actually, there was one, even the assistant coach. But still, that usually doesn't happen. The ACC, do they really pick coaches from other places within the conference? That doesn't usually happen.
Yeah, I don't think it usually happens. But I'm thinking if I had to rank them, Mark Stoops would be my guy. Wow. I would take him over Manny Diaz all day long. And I probably would take him over Brian Kelly right now. Just because I think what you said. I don't think Brian Kelly does well in the South. Yeah. I just don't. I mean, it may be the conference. But you know who does do good? Duplay. 287 Aberdeen Parkway in Panama City. It's your premier indoor destination for family fitness and total fun. It has got everything you need for indoor excitement. We've been talking about how hot it is outside. And you got to get those kids out. And you're worried about them drinking water. You're worried about them sweating, them babies out there sweating. You don't want them to get too hot. You don't want to have heat exhaustion. Well, you know what? You can take them to Duplay. Duplay's air-conditioned, inside, and it's got all of the stuff. You're talking about basketball, they've got basketball classes. You're talking about soccer, they got soccer classes. You're talking about just helping kids learn how to do the right things as far as running, as far as, building athleticism. They know how to do it over there at Duplay. Again, they're at 287 Aberdeen Parkway. They're on DuplayOnline.com. If you have anything that you're wanting your kids to do for the summer, you need to check them out because that's the place that's going to have all the camps. There's all kinds of camps. You may not like the basketball. You may not like the soccer. They've got all kinds of stuff. They've even got something this week that's talking about teaching your kid how to throw a rod and reel, how to cast. I mean, who does that? Have you ever been out there and you go to cast it and all of a sudden it looks like a nest in your reel and it's like, what happened? Well, you didn't go to Duplay and learn how to throw a rod and reel. So go over there, see them. They've got all kinds of great stuff going on. DuplayOnline.com or their Facebook page, Duplay. When we come back, we are going to dive into the NBA tonight and some more stuff about this college football. You're listening to the Sports Blitz with Paul Wilson at 104.3 ESPN, Northwest Florida.
ESPN Northwest Florida.
Colin Cowherd.
And just because the NFL's well-run doesn't mean they got the schedules figured out years ago. The Thanksgiving slate, my entire life, there's been that one game you nap to. You're not really a fan, you're more tryptophan. The NFL has really evolved on these holiday schedules.
The Herd, weekdays 2 to 4. ESPN Northwest Florida.
Los Rancheros has been doing it right for 20 years. Los Rancheros brings a top-shelf dining experience to you with the opening of their beautiful new building. Watch all college and pro games on Los Rancheros' 14 large-screen TVs with great drink specials daily from 2 to 5 and during all the games. Los Rancheros, the place for live sports and great food on 23rd Street between Jenks and Harrison.
Your safety and proper care of your boat in an emergency is crucial. When it comes to on-water assistance, response time is everything. And since 1996, in the Bay or on the Gulf, it's Seatow. Seatow's Coast Guard licensed captains are on the scene in an average of 1 hour or less. Seatow gets members home or back to boating faster. Become a member today at Seatow.com or call 850-234-2323.
When it comes to building smart and roofing right, TK Vandy's is the name you can trust. They're your go-to for general contracting, design build solutions, and top quality roofing. From concept to completion, they deliver excellence on time and on budget. Whether it's a custom build or a complex renovation, they've got you covered, literally. Call TK Vandy today and build something better together. TK Vandy, built with purpose, roofed with pride.
ESPN Northwest Florida. It's the new Sports Blitz. Call in with your questions, hot takes, and rants at 850-215-6290. The Sports Talk Monster.
ESPN Northwest Florida.
We are back live and local. You are locked into the Sports Blitz with Paul Wilson at 104.3 ESPN, Northwest Florida. Your home for the Atlanta Braves. Don't forget the Braves tonight. In about 15 minutes, we'll be taking on the Miami Marlins down in Miami. We hope that the Braves can continue their winning ways. We've got Jeffrey here. We got Bone Crusher here. We've been talking about college football and just about the coaches. Jeffrey, I got a question for you. I don't know if you know this or not. Who's the oldest SEC coach right now that's current?
Oh, my goodness. It's not Beamer.
Bone Crusher, you want to give it a shot? Who's the oldest active head coach in the SEC?
In the SEC. Man. Maybe it is. No, I'm going to go Beamer.
Beamer? Beamer's 49.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, he's not looking good for 49. Sorry.
Wow. If you had a guess, Bone Crusher, who'd you go with? I mean, because that was awful.
Man, that's a tough one.
The sad part is probably like 56 or 55 years old, the oldest one, because a lot of these guys are around your age.
Yeah, that's true.
Not Brent Venables, not Sarkisian. Who's the Texas A&M? Elko is way young. Wow. Lane Kiffin's like 49, right? 48, something like that?
Lane Kiffin is, no. Lane Kiffin's 51.
51 already. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, it's Kirby Smart.
Kirby Smart is 50. How about that?
What? Oh, my goodness.
Yep. You've already said the oldest. Yep. Brent Venables is the oldest. He's 55 years old.
Really?
Yep. And
he looks good for his age.
Steve Sarkisian's number 2 at 52 years old.
Okay.
Lane Kiffin, 51. Kalen DeBoer, 51. Kirby Smart, 50. So the 50s is Kirby, Kalen DeBoer, Lane Kiffin, Steve Sarkisian, and Brent Venables. Everybody else but Will Stein is in their 40s. Will Stein's 36 years old. Youngest head football
and
coach
you
in
don't
the
think
SEC.
it's going to work out, but
No,
they're going to
I
be
don't.
very patient with him.
Maybe. We'll see.
You say maybe. It's
don't know.
Kentucky football, man.
I ain't worried about it.
You can't go 5-7 multiple years. You get to 6-6 and you make a bowl, they're happy.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. If they make a bowl, yeah, they're happy.
That's all it
They're
is. You got to get to
big-time
the
happy.
6. 6 is a threshold for the Wildcats in football.
Yeah.
And it don't matter really if you start out 4-0, as long as you win those 2 extra games.
And the
'cause that's
thing
all
is
they need.
that if you win and get to go to a bowl game and make it a little bit exciting, maybe you upset somebody, and the basketball team is bad and not doing good, they will roll out the red carpet for you. I've been there when that's happened.
Yeah.
When Calipari went to the NIT and Stoops was winning, everybody was like, Stoops never paid for a meal when he was in a restaurant.
Wow.
Yeah, I was at a restaurant one time and Stoops was there, and he actually was just nice, man. He was nice to everybody. He's shaking hands and eating and hanging out and yeah. I mean, he didn't pay for everybody's thing or whatever. Did I ever tell you that story?
No.
Yeah. So I was standing waiting for our table, and I had waved at him, and he waved back. And next thing I know, he'd sent over like a Coke or something. He was like told the waiter to bring our party like drinks.
Oh wow!
And so Stoops did that. But anyway, so Stoops, he's going to be a head coach soon.
Wow.
Yeah. Anyway, let's move on. Got some breaking news for the Gator basketball nation. They're going to love this. Everybody thought this was going to happen. It's being reported by In All Kinds of Weather online. Ruben Chinaloo will withdraw from the NBA draft and return to Florida for one more ride. So Florida now returns its entire front court with Thomas Hall, Alex Condon, and now Ruben Chinaloo. I mean,
wow.
I mean, those
favorites, SEC favorites.
Just SEC?
Yeah. Well, you think they're going to be the favorite to win it all?
Why wouldn't they? They've won it before with those 3 guys. Those 3 guys played on the championship team and then had their early exit this year, but still, how dominant were they in the SEC all year long? I mean,
I'm going to have to look at what Arizona, Michigan, and Houston are all losing because those are the top 3.
Michigan's losing everybody but the point guard. that was contributing like heavily.
Yeah. Arizona.
Arizona's going to lose those freshmen.
And then Houston.
Yeah.
Other than that, I mean, are we really even going to talk about Illinois? No, we're not.
I don't know.
They're not in the conversation. Those are the three teams that you have to talk about in front of Florida.
Adam Schefter is reporting 1 week before being ordered to serve 30 days in jail, Kansas City wide receiver Rashid Rice underwent cleanup surgery on his right knee to remove loose debris that was causing inflammation and now is expected to be sidelined for 2 months. Rice underwent the surgery last week in Dallas with Dr. Cooper. Sources say, but he did it before knowing that he would be sentenced to 30 days in jail after violating terms of his probation for his role in a crash that left multiple people injured on a Dallas highway 2 years ago.
And do you know why?
Why?
THC.
Is that what it was?
Yeah, it was THC.
Well, the
they make
linebacker,
you drug test.
Linebacker from the Philadelphia Eagles, who was a Georgia player, Nolan Smith, just got arrested last night for doing 135 miles an hour on a highway. So Rice is in jail for 30 days, and you know as well as I do, when you have surgery, you have rehab that you're supposed to be doing with the team. Now he's going to be in jail. Do you think they're going to let the rehab guy come in there and work him out?
Yes.
What?
Yes. Yeah,
Bone Crusher, do you think that?
Physical therapist.
Not exactly. No. You're going to be in jail. You're not going to have access to the same kind of equipment or training or specialists.
Connections. Sorry.
He's in Dallas.
Doesn't
matter.
He
plays with Kansas City.
Doesn't matter.
The Cowboy fans.
Money talks.
The
power talks.
The warden is a Cowboy fan. I'm making it up. But the warden's going to say no.
Probably is, though. You're probably right.
Say no.
Wow.
Have you been in jail, Jeff?
Well, I mean, you know.
Wow.
It was a tough night.
It was a rough night.
Yeah. It was just one time.
One time when I was younger.
Scared straight.
Yeah.
No.
Whoa.
I'm just joking.
All right. So let me ask you this. I'm just doing a little bit of breaking news right now and a little bit of news that's going on. Obviously, we're going to talk about the Braves here in just a second. But how do you feel about what's going on with the LSU basketball program with all this stuff that's going on? But I know
that's another one. It's not a money grab. It's a wins grab. That's all this is. And they're doing it in football. They're doing it in basketball. Basketball has gotten ridiculous with all the 2 European players, 2 NBA guys who went through the draft. I mean, it's just nuts. It's just all over the place. He's just doing whatever he can. I don't even think it's for headlines. I think he's just trying to get anywhere where he can just get a team together that's going to compete, because they're not top half. They're not even close to being top half. They didn't do anything in the basketball tournament. I mean, no, they have so much to gain, and don't tell me about short time, because it's going to take 3 years to get this basketball program back to where they want to be.
Why do they feel like it's okay to have a professional that has already went through the draft, that's already been drafted, that's already played in the G League, to come back
and sign contracts?
Right, to come back to play in college. Like, I don't even understand what the logic behind it is. Are you just not good enough? Did you go in there and figure out, well, I'm not good enough. I need to go with these 18, 19, 20-year-olds and go and beat them, and so that I can get more money with the NIL?
It's because of agents. Agents are the ones that talk these kids into, oh, yeah, you'll make the second round, blah, blah, blah. Everything will be great. If not, you can go to Europe for 2 weeks, and then you'll get, not 2 weeks, 2 years, and then you'll get discovered, and then you'll be right back in the NBA. You can make all these millions of dollars. You'll own a big house and have a nice wife. They're selling these kids on a dream. It's a big dream, and it's something that they've never had, and they give them hope. Yeah. And then guess what happens? It doesn't work out, because the percentages.
Yeah.
It's not good. And then they end up lost, and they don't know where to go. And they're like, do I really want to be in the G League? Will they even allow me to be in the G League for 3 or 4 years? I don't even know. They don't know where they're going to be. They sign weekly contracts. I mean, this is nuts. And and there's only so many spots.
So if you think about it, the NIL in college is only the guaranteed money. Yeah. Because if you go to the G League, they can sign you these contracts, these 10-day contracts, these 20-day contracts, these two-way contracts, all this mess. And so really the stability of basketball is to just stay in college and play your 4 years. And if they've paid you $1 million, $2 million, $3 million, whatever it is, by the time you get out of college, because they're feeding you, they're housing you, they're giving you all the clothes that you need because of all the gear that you get brand new shoes, you get you get home and away stuff. You get everything you want. I'm sure boosters are giving them cash. I'm sure dealerships are giving them cars. I'm sure just to drive. Yeah. I'm sure gas stations are saying, "Hey, will you take a picture with me? I'll fill your tank up every week," or all that stuff, because all of it, it's just open sesame now. Everything's open to do. So it makes no sense if you're not, like Tommy Haw for Florida, him going and getting evaluated, Chimilu going and getting evaluated to see whether or not. Why would you even risk it? Go back to where everybody loves you. Go back to where everybody's talking about you. Chimilu, when he goes into a restaurant in Gainesville, you can't tell me people aren't like, "There's Chimilu," because 6'9", 6'10", you're going to see him when he comes in. He's not buying his meal. He's not buying. He's just take a couple pictures, hug a couple babies, smile for the camera, sign some autographs, and you're set. Why go to the G League? There's no reason to do it. Stay all 4 years, make all kinds of money, and then if you make it in the NBA, fine. I get it. You got a dream. You always wanted to go to the NBA. Well, that's fine. But you always wanted to be a millionaire, too, and you already are that. So if it don't work out in the NBA, you could always go be a legend. Again, look at Archie Griffin. He didn't do anything in the pros, and he come right back, and now he's an ambassador for the whole Ohio State University. Wherever he goes, whatever he does, he'll always have that O on his chest, and they will always give him free drinks, free rides, free food, free everything, because he's an ambassador, because we love him. And that's what you're going to start seeing, I think, because really when you look at how the NBA is, if they go ahead and cut this mess off and don't allow them to come and play, once you go to the G League, once you're drafted, once you sign the paper, you're out, bro. You can't play in college anymore. Get out of here. We don't want you. Go live in Europe. Go live in Lithuania. Go live in Slovakia. Play pro leagues over there. You can't play here, man. Get out of here. Will Wade needs to stop this nonsense. Nate Oates needs to stop this nonsense. Get away from the G League players. Develop kids. Stop trying to cheat. Stop trying to make sure you're going to win by playing grown-ups with little kids, and let it be over with, because that's silly. Don't you agree? Yeah. That's silly.
I think there's two takeaways from here. I met a guy named Charles Alexander. He was a running back for LSU, All-American, All-SEC in the 70s. And he was at Applebee's in the 90s eating in Baton Rouge. I don't think he was paying for his thing. I think he had memorabilia, I think, on the wall. You know how Applebee's has all that memorabilia out on the walls? Yeah. I think he was there like every week.
I only go to Applebee's on date nights.
Well, back in the 90s, it was a college, right?
Yeah.
But, I don't think he was paying for his meal because he was like LSU nobility. And this is before national title in 2003 for Nick Saban, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Either way. That is it for us today. We appreciate you listening. Go back, check us out on Facebook, comment, subscribe, like, share, all of those things. We will be back tomorrow. We're pumped up. Have a great night. Enjoy the heat. Make sure you wear deodorant and antiperspirant. Have a good night, everybody.
.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. This is Braves country.
This one's going supersonic.
The NL East leading Atlanta Braves coming up tonight.